Whatever you're working on at the time dictates the speed at which you are practicing your form. Simple as that, it really is. If you had to use the form from a martial arts point of view, you're not going to go, wait a minute, I'm almost there. Almost. Okay, yeah, because that isn't going to work. But you can use the same posture coming back, block, through and strike, okay? So there is a possibility there. You can use it as a block, through, and then come into looking mirror. Again, I'm not doing it as it would be in the form, because you learn to adapt and you learn to place the movements into a sentence, if you like. So the forms are like learning paragraphs. The quick fox jumped over the lazy hound, or something along those lines. They teach you the language, or part of the language, should I say, because there's punctuation and syntax and all other things that go with it. They teach you it in a formal fashion so that you have something that you can say. But then you have to learn to develop those words and use them, pick and choose which words you need and put them into the sentence which is relevant to the frame that you're in at the time. Okay, so it's like in karate as well. You have the karate forms, 2, 3, 4, and they're going through the forms and they have their set movements, but you don't fight that way. In fact, you don't really want to be fighting at all. The idea of Tai Chi is the art of stopping fighting, so you become aware enough to actually prevent yourself from actually getting into it, if you can. But there are obviously situations where people will not let you go, they will not let you get away, because they're looking for the fight. So you learn to switch off your fight and flight response, and you learn to let them fight themselves. That's a very, very complicated and difficult thing to get your head around, and it's probably going to open me up to a huge amount of abuse through the martial arts community, because they'll be, oh, put me in the ring with a MMA fighter and they will kill you. Oh, yes, they will. Yeah, absolutely. I will not step in the ring with an MMA fighter for one reason and one reason only. One, I've not done the training to do that kind of competition, and the second reason, yeah, actually there's more than one reason. That's like Monty Python, the Spanish. Fear and yeah, it gets very confusing. Second reason is that I do not choose to do that kind of martial arts anymore. In my 20s, yes, I would have probably wanted to get in the ring and prove myself, but as you get older and you come away and your arms are black and blue and you've been hit, you just think to yourself, why? Why am I even bothering with this? The idea is that you get to the point where you master the art to the point where you don't actually have to use it. You have the power, but you don't use it. Okay, I'm not there yet. But my choice is not to use it for combat unless I absolutely have to. And 9 times out of 10, if I actually have to use it, well, probably more than that actually, it's probably a huge number. If I actually had to use it in combat, it would be against somebody who's not trained. Because somebody who's trained tends to have the discipline and tends to have a different mindset. They will be looking for the aggression in a competition situation, so there's no value in them beating me up. There isn't. There's no value for them starting a fight in a club or anything along those lines. The only reason that fights start in a club is that there is points of view and contest. A contest of strength needs to be done in order to, well, I suppose you can look at it from a primitive point of view, get the girl. Although that doesn't tend to work very well anymore. But anyway, there's a strange thing that goes on in the psyche there where you have to prove your strength. There's the young bucks rutting, and I really am not interested in that anymore. None of my age, it's just not worth it. So the question being asked, could you get in the ring with an MMA fighter and win? No, because I've not done that level of training. If I chose to do that, I would be putting myself through a regime of training that would allow me to get in the ring to do that. Okay, but it's not something I'm choosing to do at the moment. That's an interesting side topic going on track, off track. Anyway, back to the form.